Are you tired of sitting on the sidelines watching opportunities pass you by? You know you have what it takes, but something's missing. It could be doubt, confidence, or fear that you're not representing your best self. Whatever it is, it stops now. It's time to align your passion with your purpose and seize the opportunities that await you. I want to see you get back in the game. So join me and my expert guests as we talk all things image, branding, and a bit of entrepreneurship. So if you're ready to gain insightful tips, tools, and strategies to help you amplify your presence and define your impact for greater success, sit with us as we talk about it. Hello, and welcome back to the Image Connection Show, where we talk all things image, branding, and presence. And my name is Jenny Dewberry. I'm your host. I am an internationally certified image consultant, brand strategist, speaker, and trainer. And today I have with me my good friend, partner in business, Miss Cherise B. Cherise and I are both certified image consultants. We're brand strategists. We collaborate on a lot of things. We partner and we support one another. And she and I have been in rooms together. We can sit back and we talk about things of business matters and discuss client issues, perhaps, so that we can help one another get through any type of situations that may arise. We can call one another and bounce off one another, and know that conversation is just going to stay right there between the two of us. And so I want to welcome her to the show. Welcome, Cherise.
Thank you, Jenny. It's so good to see your beautiful face. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes, it was a good weekend. A
Yes.
surprise, something that I didn't expect, but my family and children made sure that my birthday was just amazing. So it was
Good.
really good.
Good.
Yeah. So glad
You
to have
deserve
you
it.
here today. We're just going to talk. We're just going to, kind of bounce off of one another. Good morning, April. We're going to bounce off of one another.
April.
Just have a conversation about this image consulting world that we are in, and just
Yes.
have an organic conversation. So I
Sounds
think,
good.
yeah, we can start with how we started. And
Yeah.
you can start. I'll let
Yeah.
you end in that you started this journey before I. So
Yes. So
uh,
we definitely, Jenny and I, we met in the hair industry behind that chair.
mhm.
And that has been in the image consulting business. I have been able to use my platform behind the chair of 30 plus years to catapult everything. My move from Dayton to Atlanta was a huge move and shift for me because I knew when I got in the hair industry, it was kind of like my escape from college. I'm like, this is not me. I can't do this. I want to go do some beauty and some interior design and stuff like that. So hair was my scapegoat, right?
Mhm.
And then when I got in, I just loved it. But I knew it wasn't going to stop at hair
Right.
and behind the chair because I wanted to serve the whole woman. I just didn't really quite know how to articulate that. I
Mhm.
wasn't aware of image consulting at that
Yeah.
time, right? We
Yeah.
had no idea. We were happy to be doing hair.
That's right. Being entrepreneurs, setting our
Yes,
schedules, making our own money, and just
yes,
connecting in that supportive community of hair
yes,
designers. Yeah, it was
yes.
great.
Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't quite know what I was getting myself into, when it came to building a community. I didn't know that that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was an entrepreneur. I didn't hear about
In
that word
hair.
until later down the
You're
road.
right. Yeah.
And business owner, things like that. And
Mhm.
because I don't think I even got an LLC till I moved to Atlanta and
Yeah.
opened my salon. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, I got to do all that.
You're
so,
right. Yeah.
so the journey has lended me a lot of information, to share. That's why we
Mhm.
get to share, this long journey and
Yeah.
where we came from, and which was the bottom. And the relationships. I think for me, it's the relationships out of everything.
Yes.
Uh, 30 plus years of relationships with women. Well, all kind of people,
Right.
but women that become sisters, clients that become sisters, they become business partners, colleagues. So like us,
Mm-hmm.
who would have known we would still be here together after all these
All
years
these years.
creating more and more, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's always a bigger reason, in the
Hmm.
things that
Hmm.
we do. And like you said, we're doing hair. So we thought, not
Yeah.
really knowing in the beginning the impact that we were having on the women
Yes.
we serve. We
Yes.
started off just like I said, doing hair, not really thinking
Hmm.
about the type of clients that we wanted to serve
Hmm.
and how
Yeah.
those clients would serve us,
Yes.
and how the things
Yeah.
that we took away, the information and the knowledge and the value that we took away from that,
Yes.
we
Yes.
apply to what we do today. It was all just setting us up for this higher
Yes.
level,
Yes.
serve the woman from the inside out, and to
Yes.
also remind others that it doesn't matter where you started. What matters is,
Hmm.
where you end up. And we have
Yep.
not even came to our resting place in this thing. We're still,
Exactly.
you're still
Exactly.
growing, you're constantly learning, you're constantly researching and
Yes.
learning off of others. So, the hair industry just was a beautiful stepping stone, a beautiful
It
place
was.
to
Yeah.
take us
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
We could have stayed behind the chair because for me, it was good
Yeah.
to me. But
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
this,
Very.
it just gives me so much reward being
Yeah.
able to, dig deeper with the woman. Because when you turn that chair around and you can make a woman come to tears, I used to always say, I make
Yeah.
people cry because it
Yeah.
has happened. And you think,
Yeah.
well, this is wonderful, but it's
Yeah.
something else that needs to be touched
Yes.
here. You
Yes.
know what I
Yes.
mean? And I am by no means a licensed therapist or psychologist, but we become that behind the chair,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we learn how to pick up on the needs of
Yes,
women. You
exactly.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, tapping into the pulse of the woman,
Yeah.
and also being that relatable woman, that understanding and that empathetic woman
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm-hmm.
can, okay, so you know what? She needs her time right now. It's not
Right.
about me, it's not about anyone else, it's her time. And it's so funny, when we went into the transitions of going into the suites and the private rooms, that it's been a big conversation recently about how there are no community salons anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Everyone is into the suites, and this private one-on-one, or with one other two other people. And I just remember the culture that we built in that
Yeah.
salon. We would
Yes.
not be where we are today had we not
Being
built
in
that
a room
culture.
alone because
Hmm.
we learned from each other. We were
Yes.
teachers to one
Yes.
another too.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
support that we needed. Doing some hair, and I know I've cut a hole in someone's head, and I've been walking around the corner. Hey, listen, this girl is gonna kill me. I cut a hole in her
Yes.
head. Then
Yes.
one more,
Yes.
with more experience come around, Tanya, and
Yes.
fix it all
Yes.
up. So
Yes.
that was
Exactly.
good. And again, those were the things that really helped us to
Yeah.
propel and catapult to where we are today, along
Yes.
with, like I said, the investment in ourselves, knowing
Yes.
that in order to serve someone on a higher level, we first had to invest
Yeah.
in us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you can't do that until you've done the work on yourself
Mhm.
and be able to
Yeah.
pour to someone else. And I just want
Yeah.
to talk a little bit more too about, the image and how important it is, the
Hmm.
story that our image tells.
Yeah.
Um, People, I heard someone say the other day that they want to be $1 million or high level earner,
Hmm. Yeah.
but you can't really be that high level earner if your image and your appearance is not aligned with that trajectory.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, let's talk a little bit about, because
Yeah.
even though people do make money, they and maybe have never even thought about their image, but they make money and they make good money. But
Hmm.
imagine how much more money they could make if they paid a
Hmm.
little bit more attention to the details of themselves. So let's talk about how important it is to really be conscious of how we show up, not just in spaces that we've planned, but even
Hmm.
when we're going to the grocery store, when we're just out running about. And I'm
Yes.
not saying that we have to be dressed to the nine. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that we have to have on designer labels, but just to have a polished, well put
Mm-hmm.
together appearance and image so that you are approachable. I remember when Cherise is who introduced me to image consulting. If anyone um, wanted to know, and if you have any
Mm-hmm.
questions, feel free to put the questions in the chat. But
Mm-hmm.
Cherise introduced me to image consulting years ago, back in
Mm-hmm.
2014 or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I sold my salon and I moved 2,300 miles away from home like a crazy woman, but it worked. Everything happens for a reason. But you introduced me to that, and I sat on it for a bit because, like most, I had no idea what image consulting was. And so
Right.
it was foreign to me. And so at that moment, I wanted no parts of it.
Yes.
I wanted
Yes.
no parts because I didn't understand it. But what
Right.
I did understand about it, if I'm going to be telling someone else how they should show up, how they should
Mm-hmm.
look, how they should
Mm-hmm.
present themselves, then I had better have myself together 100%. And
Mm-hmm.
and no pressure, but just naturally transitioning into that woman that's really conscious about how I go out of the house, how I
Yeah.
go to the store. And in
Yeah.
doing that, I got my first client at the
Yeah.
grocery store. Do you remember I
Yes.
told you that? I
Yes.
got my
Yes.
first
I do.
at the
I
grocery
do.
store. She came up to
Yeah.
me and she says, I see you in here all the time and you always look so nice. Well, she didn't come up to me. We were happened to be in line. And
Yeah.
she said, you always look so nice. You're always so well put together. And I said, oh, thank you. That's what I do, and
Yeah. Yes.
to
Yes.
talk. And
Yeah.
she became my client. Well, of course, once she built that trust, in
Mm-hmm.
me and that I was
Mm-hmm.
really who I said I was, she
Yes.
trusted me enough to, you know, invest
Mm-hmm.
and use
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's very important. You don't know where you're going to meet your next
Mhm.
opportunity, where
You
it's going
don't.
to
You
be.
don't. And you said the key word, Jenny. You said trust. And
Trust.
your image tells your story. The
Mm-hmm.
way you show up matters, and it tells your story immediately
Absolutely.
before you say one word. And
Yes.
I stay right there in that space because I want every woman to understand before you open your mouth. And let me say, hey Sherry, I see you. So I stay in that space because I want every human to
Mm-hmm.
understand that the way people see you, it tells your story.
It
So
tells.
think about, how do you want to be seen and heard, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So when we are, having our down days and down times, you want to think about, what are my goals out here in this world?
Yes.
Who am I going to run into while I'm running to the grocery store, or going to pick up the kids,
Yes.
or going to lunch,
Yes.
right? And then not only that, it's how it makes you feel. Even when you're casual, it should
Mm-hmm.
be intentional,
That's
because
right.
I want to feel good about how I show up
Mhm.
regardless, right?
Right.
And the image, the way your hair, the makeup, the clothes, the colors, the way you walk, the
Yes.
way you present yourself, the way you shake someone's hands, the way your eye contact, it
All of
all
that.
matters.
Yes. The
And I
total
think
image.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that we didn't even realize that when we were living in our
Hi, Sherry.
lifestyles and coming up. Like, we love to look good, but I remember many, many days being in that salon looking a hot mess because
Yes.
we would get up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning to
In the
start
salon. Yeah.
clients.
And leaving at 12, 1 o'clock at night. We thought that was the
Exactly.
thing. We were okay
Yeah.
with that because your pockets were pretty full. You're
Yes.
ready to
Yes.
get up and do it again the next day. But as you said,
Yes.
we forgot about ourselves, and many women
Hmm.
do that
They
today.
do. Yes. Hmm.
Entrepreneur, hairstylist, a woman in
Yeah.
leadership get so caught up in trying to make the magic in the
Yeah.
business, that we
Hmm.
forget about who we are
Hmm.
and we forget to take care of ourselves. Self-care, that word
Yes.
is thrown around a lot, but it's so necessary to
Yeah.
do that. I can recall when, like you said, being in a salon, slaying hair, and
Yeah.
one of our friends, her mom is Beverly, was like, "You girls have so much confidence because there's no way I
So,
could come out of the house, with my hair looking like that." But we knew that we were going to get to it sometime during the day, but focus was our clients. But
our clients,
we
yeah.
didn't
Mhm.
realize that we were branding, we were really branding ourselves at that moment, even within the
We
salon.
were. We
You know,
were.
people are coming
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
looking at us, they're getting their hair done. Other people's clients are getting their hair done. And I'm sure they had some judgment as well. So
Yeah.
perception
Yeah.
is reality. And whether it's true or
Yeah.
not, if one person thinks a thing, it's true for them. So you do have
Yeah.
to really think about, again, like you said, how we're showing up into this world, into to the
Mm-hmm.
world. And clothing, it's our first line of communication. Grooming, of course,
Yes.
but the whole package in that. It's
Yeah.
our first line of communication. I
Yeah.
say it's our business card. So when a person
Yeah.
is seeing you, they are seeing, I mean, you're the logo, you know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
see you, then they're seeing a story. You're kind of telling them what
Mm-hmm.
it is that you do, or you're telling them what your, people, may not know this, but you're telling them what your income level might be, your
Mm-hmm.
education
Yes.
fee. All of that is associated, again,
Yeah.
with how we look. Everything happens with the look, think about it for yourselves. I always say
Mm-hmm.
that we're like a book cover. We see something and we're attracted to it because of the images that's on the book cover. It could be the words, it could be the font, it could be the colors, whatever it is. The same is for us. The same goes for us
Mm-hmm.
as an individual.
Yeah.
So again, when we think about logos and websites and colors, we sometimes disassociate that with us, the business.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Yes. Yes.
business. We are the logo.
Mm-hmm.
People want to know who we are before they want to do business within our business.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's that personal touch,
Hmm.
and I think I believe wholeheartedly that your image is working for you,
Oh,
right? It's either working for you or it's silently working against you.
hmm. Absolutely.
And I remember when I moved here, it was an immediate wake up call because when I went to the salon to kind of interview some people and get interviewed, when I tell you, girl, they were dressed to the nines,
Hmm.
slayed. And that's just not what we did because
No,
we were working and
working.
working hard and didn't have time to say no. Let's be clear. When it was
Oh,
time,
yeah.
when it was time, when we got the opportunity to go,
Hmm.
it was on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I got to the salon here, girl, they were in the all black and they were dressed to the nines. I had to go shopping because we definitely, weren't in the all black. And then we also just weren't dressing every day like that. So that was a
Hmm.
huge shift for me and realizing, I think that was the real shift when I realized like, oh, I am my brand. Like I have to really show up. And
Yep.
that's how I built my clientele so quick and fast here because I always had to look good.
Hmm.
So if you're looking good, it makes people feel good. It translates that, oh, if she looks like that, she can take care of me.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
That trust factor.
That's that trust factor and how we show up, and then uniformity. It
Mm-hmm.
really affords people to respect you. Like you said, they
Yeah.
respect you. They respect your work.
Yeah.
People always say, "Well, they don't respect us as hairstylists just because we didn't respect ours. Not respect, but we
Absolutely.
didn't appreciate
yeah.
our role in the
Our
impact
craft
we
and our
had in our craft."
leadership. It was
Yeah,
leadership,
we
and we
didn't look
didn't
at it
really
as that
understand it.
because no one
Yeah.
ever taught us that you
Yeah.
are the leader.
Yeah.
You're an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. Yes, you're a hairstylist, but don't
Yeah.
dismiss the impact that you're having on these women that are
Yeah.
coming in, walking in this salon, or even the people outside of this salon. Our names ring a bell. So when they
Mm-hmm.
see us, we got to look like we are
Yeah.
who they say we are.
Who we
People.
say we are. Yeah.
That's right. Who people have
Yeah.
said we are. So we have to look that part. And
Yeah.
again, going back to image and personal branding and just leadership
Mhm.
in general. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that personal branding, and
Mhm.
let's in leadership. Let's kind of
Mhm.
expound on that. And when we talk about leadership, I'm
Mhm.
not just talking about corporate. We're
Right.
leaders in the way we think, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So I'm not necessarily talking about a leadership role in the way that most think that we might be talking about it. I am
Mhm.
as a person because we are always being watched. Someone is always looking at us and learning from us
Mhm.
when we least expect it, when we least expect. So
Mhm.
that in itself makes us leaders.
Yep.
And so, how do we craft a personal brand that's going to speak to the audience, our audience, the
Mhm.
world stage, right? World
Mhm.
stage. I just worked with some people. I've been working with some speakers um, for stage, getting them prepared for stage. Because of course,
Mhm.
they're powerful people. Messages
Mhm.
have write down
Mhm.
that. But again, how are you showing up? Is your message aligned with your look? Is your look aligned
Yes,
with your silent
yes.
message and your verbal message? They have to match,
They
right?
have to match. Yeah.
Have to
Yeah.
match. You can't say that you're one thing or you're giving this powerful message, and that's for any of us, just not on stage, but you're giving this powerful message or you're looking like this powerful person. But then when a person
Mhm.
has a conversation with you, you lose them
Mhm.
because you're not
Yeah.
that person. You're
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
person you're presenting yourself to be. Good morning. Good
Yeah.
morning,
Hey,
Tanya.
Tawana. So I'll speak to that. I'll give you an example. I had a client who was invited to a big conference, and it was here in Atlanta, and she had her team come out. I'm like, when I bring the team, it's the hair, the makeup, the wardrobe. I'm
Mhm,
wardrobe, and then I'll bring my makeup artist. So we're in her room at 5 a.m. in the morning because she has
mhm.
to hit the stage about 9 or so. But we get started early so she can get out and mingle, do what she needs to
Yeah.
do. Well, she had a coworker who was a leader over her come into the room.
Mhm,
And this lady swore that she didn't need anything. And my client was offering her, she's like, oh, my team will take care of you. Get your hair and
mhm.
makeup done, get spruced up. Oh, I don't need all that. I don't
Yeah.
need all that. Well, first of all, and some enhancement will never hurt you.
No,
Okay,
no.
let's be clear.
Let's
Some
be
little feminine
none of us.
enhancement will never work. Right.
Yeah.
And flat out, when my client took the stage, the crowd roared.
Hmm. Yeah.
That
It's
lady was the keynote, and those people sat there silent.
yeah. Because they've
She
already
was, she
heard
did.
the message. They've seen the message. They're not
It was
interested
the
in what
energy
the
from the time she hit
yeah.
the stage. She didn't look great. Her message was good, but it was monotone.
Yeah. And it
You
was one.
know, and I felt bad for her because it was. I think the awareness came. It hit her immediately.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
difference. It wasn't about my client did all this extravagant. No, we just made sure she looked appropriate
That's
for the
it.
stage. She
And
was
that's
totally. It's everything.
it's everything. It is. It's everything. And that is sometimes it is a struggle and it's a control with
Yes,
for
those
others
alpha
to let us
women.
step in. It's a control thing. And they have been doing what they're doing for so
Mhm.
long.
Yeah,
No one has said this is not right or
yeah, hmm,
try this. Everyone
hmm,
has probably agreed with, well, I know
yeah,
some of the people that I have worked with, they have
hmm,
agreed with, how they have presented themselves and how they're showing up because people
yeah,
don't know how to tell others the truth when it's about their, when they may feel like it's attacking their person. So it's hard, as us as being experts at this. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to
yes.
tell that person the truth, but it's our job to tell them the truth because so that they can be beneficial for them in
It
the
is
end.
our job.
So again, yes, yes,
Yes,
they are just so used to
it's not an
doing.
easy job either.
No, mm-mm, no, but it takes
Yeah, it's not. I was
courage.
gonna say it's not an easy job. It takes courage because I
Hmm.
tell people all the time I have to be a boss and I have to be a servant with these women, and I have to know when to play my role,
Right.
because these women, believe it or not, they're sensitive.
Hmm.
They have egos.
Yeah. Oh
They,
yeah.
have a lot of pride. So our role. First of all, it's a mandate. I think if you come into this image consulting thing, because it's not just being a stylist, it's not just dressing
No.
someone, and it's
That's
being their full ecosystem and support system,
hmm
when it comes to how they show up. And it's, where am I today? Am I leading, or am I holding your hand?
right. And
you know,
sometimes it might be a little both.
it might be a
Sometimes
little
it
bit of
might
both.
be a
It's
little both.
fine.
Because you may get a person that comes in and she has it all together. Her style
Mhm,
might even be together, but then there's some
mhm.
other barrier that's
Yeah,
interfering with the impact, that she
that
wants
right
to have.
there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, again,
Yeah.
we're not just styling. Though
No.
both are necessary, but as image consultants, we go deep. We have
Very
to go
good.
deep in order to provide the service that our
Hmm.
clients are coming to us for.
Yeah.
Now, they don't always know what they're coming for.
Hmm.
They might think they are just coming for styling.
Yeah, style.
Because
They
we
do.
don't
They
know
do.
the difference
Hmm.
between personal stylists or stylists and image consultants. But
Yes.
when you get there and we are peeling back that onion, and then they'll realize that, oh wow, I didn't even realize this. I
Mhm.
didn't even realize that I
Yeah.
didn't know who I am anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
we do. We look in the mirror sometime and we don't know who that woman is or who that person is that's looking back at us.
Yeah.
After
Exactly.
we're grinding, we're working,
Yeah.
we're trying to get to the dollar.
Yeah.
Who are we? You know, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, when we have to go home and sit with ourselves, who
Yeah.
are we? You know,
Yeah.
who
For
are we? So
sure. Sure.
it's
Yep.
important.
And that's our job to help you figure that out
Hmm.
in a way that, in a way that just continues to bring the awareness so that you can continue to grow.
Right.
Because, we're readers too. Like, we have so many
Hmm.
gifts. We're instantly reading you the minute that we hear your voice,
The
we see your
minute.
face, we see how you wear your clothes. We're reading you, and we
Yeah,
already know what to do with you.
we
We can
already
sum it
know.
up. But
That's why we learned effective listening, and it's that it's not just with the ear.
exactly,
You know, it's
exactly.
eyes
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're constantly, figuring you out along the way, because now I have to articulate how I'm going to tell you that that color doesn't work for you, that you're
Right. Yeah.
wearing the wrong sizes.
Hmm.
This whole idea you have going on is
It's not
outdated and it's
out.
not working, and that's what's blocking your success.
Mm-hmm.
It's that deep and that serious. So it's a serious mandate on us, what we do, because it's a lot. It's more than people could ever imagine.
It is. It truly, truly is. You know, we
Yeah.
say the image is inside out, and it
Yes.
is. You know,
Yes.
some people may come to us and they have it together on the outside, you know, but
Yeah.
then we work with them from the inside and bring it out so that it matches, you know, make the inside match the outside. It's
Yeah.
important because we can dress you up all day long, but if you don't have that confidence
Yes.
in what
Yeah.
you're wearing, you don't have that
Hmm.
confidence to enter a room and
Yeah.
stand in your power, then what is the point of putting on all these beautiful clothes and colors when you're
True.
still going to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
blending in
Yes.
because you're
Yes.
afraid to
Hmm.
stand
Hmm.
up and stand out and take up the space that you
Yeah.
deserve to have in these
Yeah.
rooms that you're entering. I can remember someone coming to me a few years ago asking the question or saying to me, she wanted to know how to make a first impression. And I was like, oh, wow,
Hmm.
this never come to me and really ask that directly. But
Hmm.
she said, when I go into the rooms where, and she doesn't mind me telling this story, we've talked about it,
Hmm.
you know, I've had her
Hmm.
permission. But when I go into these spaces, I don't know, I don't feel like I belong. You know, I really
Right.
don't feel like I belong and I don't know what to say. Now, this young
Hmm.
lady at that time was working on her master's degree. You know, so
Hmm.
it doesn't say it has nothing to do with your education and your hard
Right.
skills. It's those human skills, your people skills that's gonna
Hmm.
help you get through those situations, whatever they are. But it
Yeah.
all starts with confidence, a
Yes.
look, you know what I mean,
Yes.
and having that inner and outer confidence. Not,
Yeah.
you know, when we dress people up, that confidence is fleeting. That's
Hmm.
why
True.
we go,
True.
you know, have
True.
to go in from the
Yeah.
inside out.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
someone asked the question, I believe.
Sherry left
She
a comment.
oh, okay, okay. I thought she asked the question. Asked the
She,
question. Yeah.
mhm.
So with that, Sharice, we're just going to take a quick break, and then
Okay.
we'll be back to continue the conversation.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. You're not just building a career, you're building a reputation and that of your business. At People Power Consultancy, we coach ambitious professionals to refine their image and shape a personal brand that opens doors. Because the way you show up is your message. If you're tired of blending in, second guessing your presence, or feeling unseen, this is your moment to stand out with purpose and polish. Visit peoplepowerconsultancy.com to start your transformation. Your next level has a look. Let's define it. All right, all right. So let's go back to finish what we were talking about. I mean, and
Hmm.
we were talking about communication and confidence.
Hmm.
Let's go and see if we can talk about or break down a little bit about our silent communication
Hmm.
indicators. Everyone has them, but everyone doesn't know what they are or the
Hmm.
impact that they make, I call them silent commercials. So
Mm-hmm.
silent communicators such as body language, right? Like we've
Mm-hmm.
already talked about, appearance,
Yes.
our clothes, our grooming, and
Mm-hmm.
then lastly, confidence that comes after
Mm-hmm.
you've gotten all those things together. So when
Yeah.
someone is walking into a space, say
Mm-hmm.
networking, I talk about networking a lot because I'm big on it and I know that it's important, but you have to know how to network,
Yeah,
right? You don't just
for
go into
sure.
a room and, stand at the table or sit down. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I see someone that's sitting down at a networking event and you have all of these people around you, it can be uncomfortable to
Mm-hmm.
go up and approach a person, but you're sitting there gives a message. It sends a
It
message
does. Yeah.
that you don't feel like you belong,
Mm-hmm.
that you're not really confident in
Yeah.
yourself and your abilities, or maybe you don't think it could be an esteem issue. You
Right.
don't think that
Mm-hmm.
you're worthy to go up and talk to these people that are in the room because I can guarantee you, if you're in a networking event of business owners and entrepreneurs, there's going to be a lot of powerful people or powerful looking people in that room,
Yes.
and it can
Yes.
be intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's networking. You don't just walk into a room. You have to prepare for that just like you prepare for anything
Yeah,
else.
for sure.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you do. You can find out who's going to be in the room. If it's on
Mm-hmm.
Eventbrite or something like that, you can go and
Yeah.
see who's going to be attending.
Yeah.
See, you know, what the aura would be, for lack
Yes.
of a better word, in the room.
Yes.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you prepare yourself for that. Who's going to be there? What do I want to accomplish? And then you dress for that
Yes.
situation. That's your first
Yes.
sign of communicator is
Yes.
what you're going to put on. Are you going to put on something with energy? Are you going to go in there? Black is powerful. Now, I love
Yes.
me a
There.
black powerful, but it's also, I was telling someone, it's really not what you wear. It truly is how you wear it.
It's how you wear it.
It's
Yeah.
how you
Mm-hmm.
wear it. Just because there's a style that you like, if your personality doesn't match that style,
Right.
you or I put it on with what I know our personalities to be,
Mm-hmm.
rock it out. But if
Yeah.
someone else with maybe a little more subdued personality, maybe a
Mm-hmm.
less, I'm just going to say less subdued personality, puts that on, it can have an adverse effect. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's
Yeah.
not going to highlight the person that you are. It's not going to give you the the success that you wanted it to give.
Yeah, yes, exactly. You're not going to exude the confidence that you need to have the types of conversations that you need to have with these people that
Mhm.
you need to connect with because it's called
Yeah,
networking. If you're going out, I'm sure you went out for a reason. I'm
yeah,
sure you went to connect with a certain person or a certain group of people. So, confidence is everything for you to show up with. You don't, there's no, you can't you cannot play in
you
that
cannot.
area. If you
Yeah,
have
like
to
you
show
said,
up,
yeah, that she
mhm,
for New York Fashion Week, she perfectly planned her outfits. So
yes,
especially something like that, you cannot go in there haphazard.
no,
Oh, let me just
no,
pick
no,
items out of the closet.
hmm
No,
hmm
you
yeah,
want it all, from the makeup to the earrings,
yeah,
to the
yeah,
undergarments. You want everything to be on
yeah,
point because listen, when you say all eyes are going to be on you, they want impact. They
yeah,
expect you to come in there, especially with something like Fashion Week.
yes,
That in
absolutely,
itself
hmm
can sound
hmm
intimidating, but you want to go in there, you want to stand out. Now,
yes,
a situation like that, it can be a little more difficult because everyone in there, most
hmm
people are standout. They're coming in with their best. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
You do have to be confident in what you wear,
Yes,
April. That's why you have to dress your personality.
that's right.
You have to dress your own style. That's why seeking a professional is extremely important because you can't trust yourself. Like, don't trust yourself right now when it
Mhm.
comes to what is it that I'm developing when it comes to the personal brand
Right.
and the look, and making sure that it's all aligned, like, for once, let go of the pride
Yeah.
and just absolutely go seek a professional
Mhm.
and see where they guide you. And you also have to be intentional about the type of professional the person that you're
That's
seeking
right.
out, the person. There are clients that I have that I'm like, Jenny, that she would fit your personality much
Mm-hmm.
more,
Because
than
we can
mine.
serve everyone. We can't,
Yeah,
you know.
yes, for
Yeah.
sure. But we can keep it in the family,
That's right.
and we can
That's
also
right.
still collaborate,
Yeah,
because there are plenty of times when we have to call each other and say, hey, what would you do in this situation? Because
absolutely.
I'm all about the edge, and giving people some sort of edge even within their classy conservative looks, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of times people, when they see it, they're like, I would have never done that. I would have never
And
thought
that's our
about that.
job is to bring
That's our
something forth
job.
that they would never think
Yeah.
about, to get them
Yes.
out of their comfort zone and out of that box.
Yes.
For me, I am conservative. I am
Mhm.
conservative, but I know how to put that conservative look on in a manner
Mhm.
that's not going to look like I'm going to work in everything that I put on. I know how
Yeah.
to dress for the occasion
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
still make an impact. But
Mhm.
again, for one, that comes with training, and for
Mhm.
two, watching my mom and members of
Mhm.
my family as a child,
Mhm.
it was just natural. They were just natural fashion people. So I kind of had enough on that. I kind of knew how to do that already.
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Seek
Hmm.
out professionals in your same field and
Yeah.
trust them, and get ideas. We're a sisterhood here.
Mhm.
We're a community, so we need each
Right.
other for
Yeah,
sure.
we do. We do. Like you said, we can. Some personalities we just are not equipped to deal with, or just don't
Yeah.
want to deal with, because when
Yeah.
it starts to feel more like work than
Mhm. Mhm.
enjoying, then it is
Mhm.
time to maybe pass that client on. Not,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have a conversation with them and let them know that I think I have someone that I can trust, that I know that I can trust with you with, and that
Mhm.
I think is more aligned with the direction that you're trying to go. There is nothing wrong with that. I don't
No,
think there's anything wrong with that at all.
I love it.
Yes, because you're doing yourself and that client a disservice to keep
Mhm.
working with someone that you are
Yeah.
not aligned with. That's
Yeah.
why also an application process and a little interview is necessary.
Oh yeah, for
It's so
sure.
necessary. Yes, we are a sisterhood, Sherry.
Mhm.
So necessary to interview. They're
Mhm.
interviewing us, but we're interviewing them as well.
Yeah,
I want to
for
know
sure.
who I'm going to be dealing with on a 9 week, 8, however long it takes. We're going to be spending some time together. So I don't want to
Yeah,
fight with you. I want
right.
to
I
make
know.
sure that when you come to me, you're ready. You're ready,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
take constructive criticism, to
Yeah.
step outside of your box,
Yeah.
to try new things, open
Yes.
minded, open heart, and if we
Yes.
can do that, then that's
Mhm.
it's tiring. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's okay to share the love with others.
It is. It is for sure. It's funny because over on this side, over here with me, I do a lot of photo shoots.
Mhm.
And I get a lot of last minute calls. So
Yeah.
I have really had to trust my gift. If I see you, I know pretty much exactly what I should do with you,
Hmm.
but then my confidence has to kick in a whole other manner, because sometimes I'm showing up with a whole wardrobe and I haven't even sized you. We haven't done try ons. So I have to truly, that's why my budget, that's why you have to work, you got to get aligned with the type of clients that you're working with, because I got to have the right budget.
Yeah.
And then when I show up, I have to show up with the right amount of items to make sure that I fulfill this mission, right? So I have to overshop a lot of
Hmm.
times.
You
Okay.
do. You have to have things
Thank
to
you, April.
the side. Yeah, thank you, April. To the
Yeah.
side, like you said, to take. You have to have the extra
Yes.
items to take, even if
Yes.
you have a budget, because
Yep.
once you get there, like you said, especially if they're last minute, you're gonna have to do some tweaking probably. So it's
Yeah.
necessary to have those clips,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
steamers,
Yeah.
all the things,
Hmm.
tape, two-sided tape for those of you that
Yeah.
are listening that are, have last minute tasks and
Hmm.
last minute appointments. Just make
Hmm.
sure you have your bag. I have a
Yeah.
bag that I check it every now
It
and
goes
again.
everywhere.
It
Yeah.
goes everywhere,
Hmm.
everywhere that
Yep.
I go, and whether I need it
Hmm.
or not, uh,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I have it for those
Yeah.
moments where
Yeah.
'cause you just don't know what's going to happen there on set. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny thing, we had an event last month, and a lady came in. She was in a fashion show, and her boobs were a little
Hmm.
heavier for the outfit. And girl, I grabbed the needle and thread so fast,
Yes. Yes.
and she's like, "I've never seen a needle that big." I was like, "Yeah, this is a hair needle, girl."
That's okay. 'Cause we're gonna make
And
it work.
yeah, made
Yeah.
it work. She's like, "Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
my job, to make sure
Absolutely.
you are okay."
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
so and
Yeah.
it's so much fun, but like anything, it can be a little stressful, but it's
It
our job to just make it happen.
Yes, it can be stressful, but I
Mhm.
just thoroughly enjoy it. I
Yes.
can remember when I first started, and the struggle of trying to find a client or
Hmm.
niche down, and
Yeah.
many times where I thought, well, I can't do this. This is not for
Yeah.
me. But something in me would not let me quit, and
Yeah.
so that's when I knew that this is my
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
has given me this gift and he wants me to use it.
Mm.
So he's
Yes.
not gonna
Yes,
let
for sure.
me quit. I can't
Yeah.
quit. And I'm so glad that I held on, and worked through those challenges because like anything, this is fun, but it's a job.
Hmm.
Like you said,
Yes, it
it takes
is. Yeah.
work. And if you're really serious about
Hmm.
it, it takes dedication. We are
It
constantly,
does.
like I said, we're constantly
Hmm.
researching. Trends
Hmm.
are constantly
Hmm.
changing. And when I say
Hmm.
trends, I don't necessarily mean trendy dressing because
Hmm.
I'm not really for trendy dressing. I mean, if
Yeah.
my client wants to bring a little bit of trendy items into her wardrobe, then that's fine. But for the most part, we're going to have, yes, April, first, we're going to have some investment staple pieces.
Yes,
Bring
absolutely. Yeah.
those trends
Hmm.
in that are not going to last very long. So we're not going to spend a lot
Hmm.
of money on trendy items. But
Right.
but
Right.
we as image consultants, we have to stay in the know of what's
Hmm.
going on, the latest
Yes,
styles.
that's our job. Hmm.
As I said, the latest trends.
Girl, we got all kind of stuff going on. It's so funny.
Things just turned off.
Girl, this is
We're going to
hilarious. Like,
continue. I
this
don't
is
know.
divine, because when I say we've had some issues over here.
Yes, it's technical issues and doing this live. We're going to run into some things, and we have.
Yes,
Don't know what's going on with this lighting, but it's
just
on
keep
and
it
both
moving.
turned off at the same time.
That is funny.
There we go.
Yeah, because, girl, yeah, I don't know
Yes.
what I was dealing with earlier.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. That
Yeah.
look, that's where preparation comes in.
Yes.
Bounce back resilience comes
Yes.
in. You got to have all of that. So
All of it.
we we,
All
we,
of
we
it.
were we practiced all of that today, all of it. So
Yes, we
Sharice,
did.
let's talk
Yes.
about how you're on the show. My information has been on the ticker on the bottom, but how can someone get in touch with you?
Okay, so right now you can contact me anywhere at Show Up with Cherise B on all social channels. Okay, I am in the process of rebranding, and I'm super
Mhm.
excited about that. At the top of the year, I'll be showing up with my new look, new brand. It's constant though. Let me
Oh
keep it
yeah,
real. It's so
always.
constant. But yeah, anywhere, Show Up with Cherise B, and I'm here for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, my email is here as well. That's my personal email, but you can have that email too. That's
it's
the one I
okay.
gave you. So hey, give it. They can have it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's how you can connect with Sharice,
Yes.
and like we've said, we've been in this for 30 years in the
Yes.
image industry,
Yes.
starting as hairstylist and then moving on to this image consulting realm. Sharice
Yeah.
introduced me, as I said, to image consulting, and then from there, I went and worked at a major retailer.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of information on styling and such. There, being able to style men, women,
Mhm. Mhm.
all shapes and sizes. I learned about
Yeah.
quality. Of course,
Mhm.
I learned it through my training as well. But there's nothing like that human touch and that one-on
Yeah.
human experience. So
Mhm.
I learned about patterns, textures, how to identify
Yes.
quality
Yeah.
garment, weight. I mean, just so much that I
Mhm.
learned with that. And then I also
Yeah.
went and worked at another. I worked for Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom. So
Yeah.
I learned so much in that realm. I had to
Yeah.
start off with the personal styling because, again, even though you had given me this gift, I didn't know what it was. And like
Yeah.
many, you say image consultant, I thought, oh well, I need to go be a personal stylist. And
Yes.
so
Right.
that's what I did. I went into styling,
Yeah.
and then doing that again, the same
Mhm.
experiences that I had in the salon with the women that I worked with, I saw in those
Yeah.
women in those stores. And it just
Yeah.
reaffirmed for me that I needed to go deeper.
Yeah. For
I
sure. For sure.
really got serious about it, and I, reached out to my mentor and my
Hmm.
coach and the person and my trainer, the one that
Hmm.
trained me as an image consultant. And
Yes.
oh my gosh, it's been amazing. It
Yeah,
has
it
been
has.
amazing.
It's been
So
amazing.
thank you.
I love that you delve in the way that you did.
Hmm.
Also, now, and Jenny, let me be clear. Jenny is the one that prompted me to get my international license, my international certification. So that was huge for me.
Hmm.
And we just bounce back and forth,
That's
empowering each
it.
other and elevating each other. And
That's
I
right.
love it.
That's what it's about. That is what about reach back. Each one
Yes.
we helping
Yeah.
each other, and we
Yes.
want to make sure that we grow in this thing,
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
do it together.
Absolutely.
No one will
Yeah.
be left behind, and
Yeah.
that's just for anyone listening. I am an open book. If anyone wants to reach out and just ask
Yes.
a question, I'm not going to charge you to answer a question. Like,
Yes.
you can't get in this
Mhm.
store unless you pay X amount of dollars. I am not like that because I've been where these people have been.
Yes.
You know what I mean? For a long time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
I
um,
love it.
that's it. So you have any takeaways before we wrap up?
Yeah, one thing is for the audience, I want you to be considerate of, where you are today and where you're considering elevating yourself to. And your look is one of the most important places that you can invest, and invest in a professional. Okay,
Mhm.
you can start here with us. If we need to help find you someone in your local area, no problem, because we are a sisterhood, remember? So we have other image consultants all over the world. So start here with us. Just seek a professional. I know you fly. I know you look good, but
You got it all together.
something that you could be doing could probably be tweaked a little bit, and that's where the professional comes in.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. As Cherie says, anyone and everyone can use an image consultant.
Yes.
Like she said, we're sure you have it all together and you have reached
Hmm.
a level of success. But imagine how much more successful you could be and how much more income and revenue you can have if you hire yourself an image consultant,
Yeah.
invest it in yourself just to even see where else can I take this look,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
what barriers do I have or mental blocks that I have that's keeping me from moving forward. Style is not vanity.
Mhm.
It
No. No. No.
in any means, by any means, it's necessary.
It's very necessary.
And having a well polished image is necessary to get you to the next level, no matter where you're going.
Yeah.
That's my message to the listeners, and I
Yes.
do want to thank everyone for tuning in to us today. Thanks, Cherise, for jumping in here and having this
Thank
great
you.
conversation with me. And I hope you
Always a pleasure.
learned some things from us. And again, remember that image is not vanity; it is necessary. So
Yes.
hire yourself an image consultant or reach out to either of us for a consultation. Cherise has already given you her information. Reinvent me, Cherise B at gmail.com. I'm not going to give out your person. And then her Instagram is at Cherise, excuse me, show up with Cherise B.
Yeah. Hmm.
For me, you can contact me at info@peoplepowerconsultancy.com.
Hmm.
My website is peoplepowerconsultancy.com.
Hmm.
And I'm on Instagram as Jenny Dewberry. And no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm on LinkedIn as Jenny Dew. I'm on Instagram as Jenny Do _ people power. So
Yeah.
reach out, give a word, follow us on
For
our
sure.
platforms. We would greatly appreciate it. And subscribe to this YouTube channel if you enjoyed it. And look for some other great, insightful tips from our experts that will be joining us for the rest of this year. Until
Yay.
next time, thank you, Cherise.
Thank you, Jenny. Have a
All
good one. Talk to you
right.
soon. Mwah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Image Connection Show. We truly appreciate you being here. We hope you'll join us again. And don't keep it to yourself. Invite a friend to tune in too. If you're ready for more insightful tips, tools, and strategies to help you enhance your image, brand, and help you on your entrepreneurial journey, this is where you want to be. Until next time, keep showing up with purpose, presence, and power. I'll see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Take care.